up on girl, I wanna party. Wave up my hand, we wanna drink and party. Oh, we wanna drink and party. Oh, I wanna party. Bad. Wave up my hand, and wind up on girl, I wanna party. Bad. Wave up my hand, and wind up on girl. And you know when we doing it, you don't know we doing it proper. And you know when we doing it, you don't know we doing it proper. And you know when we doing it, yeah we doing it proper. And you know when we doing it, you don't know we doing it proper. I wanna be somewhere where the music is. I wanna be somewhere where the vibes it live. Inside of the car, don't get down. Behind them girl when they post up, I and everybody hope they know that. No girls, I wanna party. Bad. Wave up my hand, and wind up on girl, I wanna party. Bad. Wave up my hand, and wind up on girl. And you know when we doing it, you don't know we doing it proper. And you know when we doing it, you don't know we doing it proper. And you know when we doing it, yeah we doing it proper.
It's all about the music.
Sometimes it's feeling like there's only 2 days in the week. Yesterday was Monday, and look at that Friday afternoon. So hear that. Do you have a talent or skill that you can turn into a business idea? Well, don't sleep on you, my youth. Get your business started today. The Youth Economy Agency will guide you. Provide funding. Yes, sister, provide funding. Plus training to run your business profitably. Yo, go online now to start living the St. Lucian dream. Just one click and boom, you're in business.
With outlets from Grosley to Soufriere, WMart is indeed your community shop. Giving you the best prices and widest variety, we've got everything you need. Chicken, turkey, beef and pork, saltfish, pigtail, ham, all in stock. Delicious franks, nuggets, cheese and fries. Prices you can't beat and quality for sure. With 9 locations island-wide, WMart is your one-stop family meat shop. WMart, small store, big convenience.
WMart.
Take a chance. Get your tickets. Place your bets. You can be the next Super 6 jackpot winner of $220,000. Get your tickets today.
Established in 1961 and still going strong.
Like, really? No, shut up.
Radio Caribbean International. We are number 1.
Good afternoon, St. Lucia, and welcome to another edition, the first for the year 2026 of Youth Unplugged. I am your host, Miguel Favre, and Youth Unplugged is a space where we give young people a voice, a platform, and a spotlight. And as usual, the Youth Unplugged is sponsored by our Youth Economy Agency, turning those dreams and those hobbies into a viable business. Today, my guest is a young man whose journey is anything but ordinary. But before I get to that, I will say that he was supposed to be our host for our last episode for 2025. And we were sort of straddling online or physical appearance. He had to travel that very afternoon, but there was no set itinerary yet. And it just so happened that moments before he was set to come on, that his boat had arrived from Martinique, so we were unable to do it, and we postponed to today. But he is at home in the village of Laberie, the lab, right now, because he is, of course, unwell. I think it must be the flu, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's the flu. It's been going around since the Christmas season. That must be the Christmas flu. So he's joining us via video link today. And his name, in fact, he's 21, and he was 21, just turned 22 on January 4th. So belated birthday greetings, my friend. Belated birthday greetings. His name is Daniel Dandre DeAndre Amede, and of course he's better known as Dre, which is what I'm going to be calling him throughout our show this afternoon. And he has taken on more paths than most people attempt in a lifetime. Since graduating from the Leon Hess Comprehensive Secondary School in 2022, he has explored careers in dental and dermatology, worked front desk at Sandals, served at Hotel Chocolat, dove at Anse Chastanet Resort, and is now a dive master at Eastern Caribbean Diving. He has played in the Windward Islands Games representing St. Lucia. He's trained youth basketball with the BFTF, which is Basketball for the Future, the club of which I am a part of. 2019 champions, must I say, basketball club. He's volunteered in political counseling and recently represented St. Lucia in Taiwan on sustainable tourism. He's a young man navigating purpose, passion, and possibility. And today we get to hear his story. So Darnell, but for purposes of the show, we're going to call you Dre because everyone knows you as Dre. Welcome to Youth Unplugged.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Of course, my brother, it's a pleasure to have you. And of course, having another BFTF product here is very special for me personally. So we're going to jump right into it. Your journey after leaving Leon Hess is incredibly diverse, from hospitality to medicine to diving. What were you searching for during that period?
Well, one thing I can say, my mom taught me that if you want to cook a feast for everyone at the table, ensure you have a seat at the table for yourself. Right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for things that can make me happy whilst I can still help other people as well. Right? So with everything I've done, it's been a means to help my mom to, finally relax. Growing up was just me, my mom, my older brother, and things were a little bit tough. We were not well off, but she did everything that she could to ensure that we had what we needed, right? So I made it my mission to become financially stable so I could support my family. But in search of those accomplishments, that stemmed even way before I graduated. Even from the early age of 7 years old, I was putting myself in situations where I could, build a portfolio. So,
all right. Now, another one of our teammates is right here. Just came onto the live, and he commented, and he says, "Look, an intro, boy. That's Clito Sunleya. Big up, Clito." I suspect Clito didn't know you had all that under your belt. All right. So, next question is: what was the moment you realized diving wasn't just something you were trying, but something you genuinely loved?
So most times before you actually get certified in diving, like in the open water, the first certification, we do what is called a Discover Scuba Diving, DSD, right? So it's where an instructor would take you to about 40 feet max, and they will just make you test the water, see if you like it, see if it's something that you want to do. So at the time, I was working at Hotel Chocolat, but I got an opportunity where I could do an internship at Anse Chastanet to become a dive master, although I could not swim. And I was afraid of the ocean, so that was a task. All right, but what's that?
You couldn't swim?
I could not swim. But I tried it after my first DSD. I fell in love with it, and I'm like, okay, so I love this, and it has potential to make some great money. So it comes back to my original goal of doing something that makes me happy, but can still help me achieve the goal that I had of financial stability, right? So at that point, I realized, okay, so I have to get this down. And there's a 400-meter swim test. So I was determined, bro. With the help of instructors at Chastanet and some other divers, I started practicing. I did my thing, got that out of the way, and then got my certification. So now it's what I do.
Vibe, nice. And of course, I suppose that directly links to my next question. You represent St. Lucia in Taiwan on sustainable tourism. I would assume, in fact, that your diving, your career, your now career in diving would have been the catalyst or the facilitator for you to attend that forum on sustainable tourism. Could you confirm whether that is the case and tell us about that experience in Taiwan?
Sure. So it probably did help. It probably was one of the main keys in them noticing me since it's within the tourism industry. But with everything else that I've been doing, it's always been in tourism. So I guess they figured that I have everything that they needed for me to just go up there, see what it's about, and hopefully come back to St. Lucia and share what happened up there. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So with my experience up there, it was amazing. It was amazing, man. I made so many networks. I got to get deep into the diversity of the culture. You know, yeah. So I was up there for sustainable tourism. Basically, what that means is we're looking for ways to help Saint Lucia advance in the development of tourism because that's what we rely on, right? But we want to do that while still sustaining our natural environment. Um, Now, before I went to Taiwan, in my mind, I'm thinking like the populace. You know, it's a concrete jungle, it's tall skyscrapers, advanced technology, all sorts of things. And it was not, trust me, it was not. But like they care so much about the nature, like they don't make any changes to the environment unless they know that they can still sustain the nature that's being removed or is being affected. You know,
All
but
right.
it's a great experience, man.
All right, all right. And so that said, on a side note now, before I get into the next question, so now
Mhm.
that you've said to me that you couldn't swim before you entered the field of diving, the experience of scuba diving, going underwater, especially as you reach the point where you are able and you're capable and proficient. Let's put it that term. Use that the more appropriate term, proficient. The views, the underwater views of Saint Lucia. Tell me about that experience, my brother.
Boy, Butu. I can call you Butu. That's fine.
Of course. Come on.
Butu. Let me tell you, underwater, it's amazing. Imagine just the other day, I was doing a snorkel trip, and I saw a camera under the water, and perfect
Whoa,
condition. Yeah, so like you're under the water, and you can find so many different things from
treasures.
materials that people dropped in, expensive stuff too,
Hmm.
and the coral, although it's not as beautiful as it was before, it's still very colorful. There's so much life outside there right now. There's projects happening for coral restoration as well. So when we get to go out and dive and we're seeing all of this happening, it's a great experience for both me because I get to learn a lot from it, and the guests they see these things and it blows their mind.
I envy people like you and my one of my younger brother, my one before the last. He has his master's in marine biology, and that it has taken him diving in so many places, the Virgin Islands, in the US, for example. And when I see his pictures, I'm always amazed, especially those underwater pictures. All right.
Beautiful.
So let's move on to sporting though. Of course, I've known you through basketball and for basketball for the future. Big up Ron. Good afternoon to Bertie Jones on the live. Good afternoon to you. Big up Ron, big up Team BFTF. You have coached youth basketball and you are one of those who came up through our youth program. The promising ones who's now on the senior team and let me add a very key part of our run last National League, but this year we're going to take the championship. But that's just a side note. But you've coached youth basketball and volunteered in political counseling. What drives you to stay involved in so many community spaces?
You know, it's ironic, Butu, because I find peace in solidarity. So getting into these big crowds, it's taking me outside of my
Yes,
comfort zone,
yes. Peace and
right?
spirit,
But
right?
our generation, my generation, is the next upcoming prime ministers, next upcoming entrepreneurs, you know, athletes. So basically, I'm just setting a foundation for myself, finding out what St. Lucia needs, and letting St. Lucia who Dre is, who I am. So when the time comes, I can do my part.
All right. Okay. With all the twists and turns in your journey so far, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about finding your path?
I would say the biggest lesson I learned while finding my path is, like I stated earlier, finding something that makes you happy. There's no point in living a miserable life. You only have one of them to live.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So stay true to yourself, being humble, and once you do that, let God stare and just row the boat. That's
All
it.
right. All right. We're gonna take a quick break to give our sponsors a plug, and I'd like to even ask you about them when I get back. And then we're going to get into the rapid fire round where I ask you questions, you give the same answer at the top of your head. But I may have some more questions for you before that. So we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Youth Unplugged with me, Miguel Favre, aka Butu, and my boy Daniel Amide, aka Dre, which is what I'm calling him on the show. He has at very young age of 22 years old. He only just turned 22, and he has so many experiences under his belt since leaving South Louis Community College. Was it? Yes.
I actually
you didn't go Safa, so you've been working since you left Hess. Yeah, so since you left Hess, I could have sworn you were among the boys at Safa. So you see,
well, I went there quite often, so that's probably why.
There you
go.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break and get back to the show in just about a minute and a half.
But imagine that. Sometimes it's feeling like there's only 2 days in the week. Yesterday was Monday, and look at that Friday afternoon. So hear that. Do you have a talent or skill that you can turn into a business idea? Well, don't sleep on you, my youth. Get your business started today. The Youth Economy Agency will guide you. Provide funding. Yes, sister, provide funding. Plus training to run your business profitably. Yo, go online now to start living the St. Lucian dream. Just one click and boom, you're in business.
And that was a very short minute and a half. But now let me ask you a little question. Yeah, to give our sponsors a plug, but I want your honest opinion because you do know a bit about the Youth Economy Agency, right? And the fact that you as young people between the ages of 16 and 35 do have an opportunity, if you have an existing business or you have a business idea, to take it to them and you go through all the ropes, the training and all these kinds of things. And of course, there's the grant and loan facility attached to that. As a young man making his way through the world, what do you think of an initiative of this nature? Oh, oops, Donald, it looks like.
Yeah, sorry.
That was you. Okay, I thought that was me. Go ahead.
But it's kind of funny that you brought that up because I was actually working with YEA the last couple of months of last year. I'm doing my instructor course, so I'm trying to level up in the diving industry.
Right. Yes, sir.
And they heard me trying to do this, and I reached out to Elks Credit Union, and they realized that I reached out, and they said that they would help me pay that off. So they actually helped me pay for my course to become an instructor. So right now, that's what's happening.
Nice,
so
nice.
They're very helpful, trust me.
It's very timely for you. I'm still mad at the Prime Minister, and because at my age, that thing should have been introduced a long time ago when I was young. So I take advantage of that. All right. So we're gonna move as we wind down the Youth Unplugged for today, Thursday, January 15, 2016. Let me say good afternoon, happy birthday to a few people. Mindy Chico, good afternoon to you. Happy birthday, my dear. And of course, today, Oliver Lawrence, J. Lawrence, good afternoon to you, my brother. Happy birthday. All right. So rapid fire round. I ask you the question. You tell me what comes first. Answer top of your head. Hopefully it's honest. Ocean or mountains?
Biased, ocean.
You ever climb any of the Pitos?
Yeah, I did go Pito.
Yeah, enjoyed it?
2 years ago. Yeah, man, it was good. It was good.
All right. Biggest fear underwater?
Probably unforeseen equipment malfunction.
Really? So
yeah, because
go ahead.
Because when you're underwater, it's like they basically train you for anything that could possibly happen, right? And when it comes to like the underwater environment, nothing actually hurts you unless you go and provoke it. So the only thing that can actually bother you is if like your equipment is messed up and you can't do what you actually need to do.
All right. So you never watched the original Jaws, right?
I saw the second one.
The original Jaws from 1970.
I understand what you're saying. For sure.
that was actually based on events that occurred during a particular period in the US. But that's me being a nerd right now. Okay, one thing you must accomplish before age 30.
Financial stability.
That's a good. That's a good goal. All right, and favorite dive spot in Saint Lucia.
I'll probably say Turtle Reef. That's in Sufa.
And tell us more about Turtle Reef, where it's located, and what can you what makes it so special though?
Okay, so Turtle Reef is actually just off the shore from the Unshasni beach.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of say I'm biased or not too, but it's still amazing because they say that from the surface, from aerial view, it looks like the back of a turtle. The reef itself looks like the back of a turtle.
Mm-hmm.
And coincidentally, there's a lot of turtles along that dive. You would get big guys in like 60 feet underneath those like crevices. You
Oh
get
wow.
the little hawksbills just swimming around, sometimes coming at you, eating sponge on the side. There's so many beautiful fish just out in the sun. It's amazing.
Oh,
Also, on that dive side as well, there's marine biologists at Nshasne who are working on coral restoration there. So you can see like a field of coral trees while you're diving too. So it gets everybody to see and learn so much about what we're doing in St. Lucia when it comes to diving.
you have an interesting job. While I'm sitting here on the radio listening to you talk about how wonderful it is to do what you do. All right. All right. So what's the next skill? A new skill you want to learn next?
I'd have to say business management.
Mm, okay. And have you found out, have you sought to find out through the Youth Economy Agency, giving them another plug? Because they do offer this at least certain aspects of managing your business through marketing and financial accounting and that kind of thing.
I didn't know that actually.
Bookkeeping, well, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll probably start talking to them more about that then.
There you go. They do offer. And I believe now they're outside of just regular clients who've gotten loans, assistance through loans and grants. I think they are generally just people who get that sort of training from the Youth Economy Agency. So make sure you check it out. And finally, on that point, one word that describes you right now.
Patient.
Patient. Yeah. And and how has that, have you always been that patient? Is this something that you've learned?
It's definitely something that I had to learn. I had a lot of anger issues growing up, you
Mm.
know, especially because like the way that I grew up, there was no way for me to actually express anything, so I just keep everything inside. But now I'm getting more into God and everything. I'm reading my Bible, bringing everything into my life, and it's helped me so much to navigate a path where I can just things happen.
Uh,
You
That
let
that
him
that
steer, just row the boat.
well, that's weird though. Knowing you for all those number of years, you've never seemed to be that kind of impatient kind of person. You've always been that calm and relatable and everything. So
Been developed from young because I
all
know
right.
it.
Well, keep it up. But as we close, we'll close up with any advice for young people today and any closing words as we end today's episode.
Um, I don't have any major advice I can give anybody. I mean, I'm not really set foot in the world as yet as well,
But
but
those trying to make their way into the world, yeah.
yeah. But for people like me who are trying to make their way into the world, man, just be patient. Like I said, everything takes time. Everybody has their journey. Everybody has their path. Things happen at different time for different people, so you can't rush anything. Just ensure that you're staying on your path. You're staying true to yourself. You're staying humble. Doing what you need to do, and you're good, bro.
And of course, don't be jealous of other people's successes because you never know what they did and how hard they worked to get there. Could only
Definitely.
strive. All right, Dre, Daniel Amide, thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. And you know what, I
Yeah.
really love you. You were, from the moment I checked you last year, you were all for it. You did want to speak, and you've done a very wonderful job. I wish it was a longer interview, but I'm very personally, as of course a clubmate, a teammate, I'm very proud of you. And I
Thanks.
want you to keep it up. And of course, all of us here at RCI and our sponsors, the Youth Economy Agency, continue doing what you're doing.
Big up YA though. Y'all are
Yeah,
good.
big them up, big up, big up, big up. And let's give BFTF a shout out anyway. Again, Ron, big up.
Big up you, man. We're
Yeah,
gonna
Super Bill.
have to.
Yeah, man. All right, folks, this has been Youth Unplugged with me, Miguel Favre, and my guest, Daniel DeAndre Amede from the Lab, one of my favorite communities on St. Lucia Library. And he has a number of things under his belt at only 22 years old, just turned 22, and he's done very, very, very well. And I hope that you join me. I will not, like I stated yesterday, I will be off island next for the entirety of next week on some work-related matters. So you will see me the week after for both Letla and Youth Unplugged. So until then, reminding you that Youth Unplugged is brought to you by the Youth Economy Agency, turning those dreams and those hobbies into viable businesses. Until then, I'm Miguel Favre saying see you soon.
But imagine, sometimes it's feeling like there's only